Hey, hello. Well, today we're having coffee with Denise Adleman, and we're not actually having coffee, but it's coffee with Denise. Um, and Denise went through the program. You started, was it during COVID?
No, it was after COVID.
Okay,
It was shortly after, but everything was for the most part virtual. You did have some in-person stuff.
which you came to.
Yes, I've been there several times.
And one time when you came here, we went to an iconic bar, and who did we see?
Paul McCartney.
That's pretty great.
It was freaking awesome. But I'm like, I'm not going to go over and introduce myself because I'm not giving up my seat at the bar here. It took a long time to get the seat at the bar.
Oh my
Nobody's
God.
worth that.
No. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
So, I would love to dig in with you, like what made you want to do the program and what you've been
Mhm.
doing since.
So, um, energy therapy, energy stuff, anything energy has always been, anything woo woo has been fascinating to me my entire life. So I started out many, many years ago learning about energy, and I had just assumed, like many people do, animal communication is a gift. Either you have it or you don't. So it's not anything that ever like I thought I could do. So I didn't. It wasn't even a consideration. But I've done a ton of different human and animal related energy courses, um, and I did Reiki, like a lot of our people in the group in the school have done. And I met at one of the classes one of your students, um, and we connected on Facebook, and she had, I'd posted something about, it was like during the holiday, the winter or the December break time, and she had posted something about that. So I reached out to her. I'm like, "Hey, Millie, what is that? What are you talking about?" And she started telling me about the class and stuff. I'm like, "Oh, well, that's kind of cool." Um, and I didn't really do too much with it because, again, I just assumed, it's not, you've got the gift or you don't. And I was doing a energy related meditation one time, sitting on the floor with, I had four dogs, three or four. I don't know how many dogs. I had dogs, more dogs than I do now. And I was sitting on the floor, and I got really in this really cool energetic space of meditation. And um, I saw like my one dog Macy walking over by their crates, and I thought to myself, "Oh, she wants to go in the crate. That's okay." I'm like, and I said, not out loud, "Macy, you can go in the crate," and she went in the crate. I'm like, "Oh my god, did she just hear me?" I'm like, "No." And then a few minutes later, I'm like, I wonder where Ollie is. And then pretty soon, Ollie comes running out. I'm like, oh my God, am I communicating with them? I mean, it was just, so then it just kind of snowballed from that. And I reached out and did a call with, I forget her name. Oh my gosh, I feel so bad.
Shannon. Hmm.
Yes, yes, Shannon. Oh my gosh. And it just kind of started there. And I started out just doing the single cert program of animal communication because it's like, well, I've done so much energy stuff. Okay, let's see if I can really do this animal communication. Then, like many people, when you start with a single cert, you're like, oh yeah, I upgraded to the big program in a very short period of time.
And because you've done so much energy, I would love to specifically, well, first I want to talk about what are you doing with it now?
Wow,
Hmm.
it's mostly just on me, my dogs, and like close friends' dogs. I have a very busy day job, which I do enjoy most, the majority of the time. Um, and when I was going through the school and I did my case studies, which was, oh my God, once I got into it, it was so much fun. It was all consuming. But then I realized very quickly, I'm like, I will have no time in my life to do anything between my day job and trying to build a business and doing that. So I just do like friends and family
Mhm.
type of stuff right now.
Hmm.
I do, plan on uh, doing more of a, I don't know if a kind of like a second career, like a retirement
Right.
career.
Right.
That was kind of always my thought behind this process because I'm not that close to retirement age. I'm a few years off yet, but I'm not someone who's probably going to, I can't picture myself sitting around doing nothing all day long. And since I love animals, it's, when you retire, you want to continue doing something you love. So I, plan on doing the energy and the animal communication as part of my retirement gig.
I love that. Um, and we'll always be here to support you when
Oh
you're
yeah.
ready.
Oh yeah.
Um, so I want to kind of dig into, I mean, you had done, I think, a couple certifications or at least one certification as an EFT for
Yep.
EFT and have been an EFT practitioner. What did you find when you started tapping on the animals?
Um, I mean, it was it was shocking, even though, it made sense because we're all energy. So it doesn't matter, um, human, plant, or, a dog. It's all the same. We're all connected. So, um, it was really, really miraculous. Some of the stuff that I've seen happen with animals, using like the EFT and the scalar. It's
Yeah.
pretty amazing.
What was EFT different for you for animals than
It it took a little bit. A couple of the like, one, it was like a, I think it was part of one of the intensives that I did virtually, and it was the EFT section. And even though you said it, I am someone that sometimes it takes a couple times to like click in there and fully get it. Um, but you have to, tap as, the animal's point of view, not what you think the animal's thinking or what they should be thinking or what you're thinking about what the animal might be feeling. You just kind of have to let go and let the energy be, be what it is with the animal.
And I would love for us to break that down for people because I think like my new kitty.
Oh, hey, baby.
Hi, Gloria. Um, mm, she thinks the dogs are gonna come running out.
Oh, I'm surprised they're not there.
We're segmenting things for
Okay. Yeah,
this
because normally it's
this
Penelope up there.
yeah.
Yeah.
So in this time, who I tap on, um, right now, it's her.
Showing us her little booty.
Hmm.
She's cute.
So she's gonna upstage me.
Too late.
Mhm. She's so cute.
She is.
One of the things that I love is like when we tap on animals, I love that we would think, but I want to be a good boy. It's like, what does that even mean? I just
Hmm.
really want to eat the garbage.
Right.
And so is that what you're talking about?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And, like if there was, some sort of a traumatic event or whatever, it's, you're trying to picture it through how the animal is thinking about it versus how you're thinking about it. Like, oh my gosh, I
Mm-hmm.
would be so freaked out and I'd be freaked out for days. And I don't
Mm-hmm.
know that I could ever, walk by a trash can again type of thing or whatever the situation. And it's just kind of getting out of that headspace on what
Yeah.
my expectation was of what the animal would think. And yeah, but I want to be a good boy type of thing where it's,
No, I really just
they
want to eat
want,
the
they want to
garbage.
make us happy, but they don't have the good or bad concept.
Exactly. And the garbage sometimes looks really good.
Yeah. Yeah. I get it.
Uh-huh. So tell me about Scalar. How did Scalar Wave appeal to you?
I love scalar. It's actually one of my favorite modalities. I've had good, I don't want to say good luck, but good success with energy, which again, shouldn't be surprising. It's just amazing. Um, but yeah, it took me a minute to wrap my head around it, because again, I'm coming from like tapping or Reiki, and it's just different.
Mm,
Where scalar is just you're you're basically imagine yourself in the energy, or allowing yourself to know that you're in the energy, and just to help facilitate that is just wow.
yeah. I love scalar too.
Yeah, me
Scalar
too.
wave is really what brought this one
Yeah,
to
and I
life.
love the whole spinning of doing the pendulum with the chakras, and um, around that. And I would do a before and after, and I'd be like, wow, that is so totally different.
Yeah, yeah. What would you say to people who are on the fence about doing like animal communication or EFT?
So yeah, I can relate with with those comments. It's just I don't know. It's just something I would just try. I mean, start small if that's what you need to do. Take a class. You don't have to jump into the big program immediately, or if ever. But I don't know. There's just something so unbelievably cool about both, the energetic and the animal communication, especially when you realize it's working, it's happening, you're seeing it. So, again, I'm someone who, I'm a Gemini, so I can see both sides. I can see the whole like, let's be very analytical, let's be, very type A, and then like, let's be like, woohoo, hippy dippy, and which I think is most of the time where I prefer. That's
Yeah.
my alternate ego type of thing. So I would say just try it. Allow yourself to experience it with an open mind, and I don't think you'll be disappointed.
Yeah, because it's amazing how, especially with the animal communication, one minute you're here and the next minute you're here.
Yes. And then sometimes I'd be like, but then that was my own self getting in the way. Yeah, it is. It's really very cool when you get something like that feedback. That's even if it's just small. I was always very happy. My goal was always to get one thing that I could feel like was real and validated. I might got a lot of things, but it was just usually the one. I always said, just let me get one thing, and the rest of it would be icing on the
Well,
cake. And
well,
and you
sometimes
do, and it takes practice, but
that one thing is could save someone's life.
right. Yes, absolutely.
And so it takes practice, and then I want to kind of dig into trust.
Yeah.
How early on did you trust yourself?
Oh, I don't know. I'll let you know when I get there.
Okay, yeah. I
No,
love to bring that
there
up.
are times where there are times where like, yeah, this is it. I believe this. And then there's, the self-doubt pops in. So I don't know. Do you ever outgrow that?
I don't I still have those moments where I'm like, is this going to be the day that I get nothing?
Yeah. Yeah. Or is this a day that someone's just gonna look at me and say, you're flipping crazy?
Yeah.
Like, well, it's
And
gonna
it's
happen
so
sooner or later.
and so what I always do is take a deeper breath.
Mhm.
And I feel like that's what then starts to build the trust.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've been fortunate. Everyone that I've worked with has been really good with feedback, and I would, just start by saying, I know this is going to sound crazy, but we were taught that just say it anyway. So instead of fighting, I'm just going to say this, and then they, would laugh or smile, or would acknowledge, putting it together, because it's hard not to try to, what would you say, not diagnose, interpret what was happening versus describing the situation. Because you told the story about, like,
Mm.
the cat is behind the teepee, and you're describing something triangular, but you don't see it as a teepee. So where someone else, just describe it versus trying to analyze, I think is.
Yeah, I would say that your cat could be hiding behind a pyramid,
Yes.
but you tell the person it's a teepee, and the person will walk by the pyramid because they're looking for a
For
teepee.
the teepee.
So you
Right.
want to describe the triangular building. And I also want to go back to I might just call this Just Say It anyway, because
Hmm.
how many times are you surprised that it makes sense to the person?
Right. And especially, when you're newer too and you know, maybe it's not as clear and you're not as trusting and you're just trying to describe it. So it's just say it anyway,
Mm.
because, more than likely they're going to get what you're talking about. And if not, they're going to ask questions, and then that you can kind of get back in there, and then that can help you guide a little bit more.
Well, also, they could think about it and realize later.
True.
And then that comes back to the trust piece because you have to just still trust yourself that you got that information, even if someone can't verify it for you. Because down the road, when you're working, if you are working as a professional, you're maybe they aren't going to necessarily ever verify it for you. But
True.
if I've had times where someone would say, no, that's not blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay. And I trusted the information. I didn't take that personally. And about 4 months later, I ran into the woman in Starbucks and she was like, oh my God, I realized his ashes are at a garden. Even I had thought it was her garden. She's like, I don't garden. It's like, okay. Um,
Yeah. Well, if you figure people like, you or someone even like, you know, John Edwards or whatever, these, really popular mediums will say something to people and they don't get it right then and there either. And
right.
they're good. So it's like, well, then I should maybe trust myself with some of the stuff that
Yes.
I'm saying.
So trust becomes a huge thing. So it's
Yeah,
not a gift. We have to trust, and then we're able to use it as an on-off button, I think.
true.
Is there anything else you want to share for somebody who's just getting started or on the fence?
It's, I'd like to say just jump in and be the brave one, but who am I to say that? It took me time to get there.
Yeah.
I would say start small. Just, you've got really nothing to lose. You offer so many good packages on even just like an online course. If that's what, you want to do, one of the recorded courses, try it there. But it's just the group. I mean, the whole class structure is, everyone is so supportive. There's not, other than the one in the very beginning, which we won't talk about. Um, most people that I, everybody, not most people, everyone that I've come in contact with through, students. And I mean, some of them are still very good friends of mine where we text each other back and forth, or, we're still in very much in contact. So everyone is so very supportive. It's a very safe environment.
Yeah. And safety builds trust,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
trust
And when,
builds
yeah,
confidence.
when you start to get to know these people, then you know, it's, it's kind of like family, where you're
Yeah.
like, you don't really, if you're like gonna think they're gonna think I'm stupid, I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care.
Right. Yeah, but
Yeah.
everyone's been awesome.
Well, it's been really fun to catch up, and
Yes, thanks.
um I think it's great. And I love that you had that EFT background and that, you still wanted to.
Oh yeah, it's just there's always, nobody knows everything all the time. There's always a different way to look at something, and you're gonna grow.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank
Yeah,
you.
thanks.